someone when you've learned something from them. Something good, not something to avoid, but something really good. Dad, thank you. Granddad, thank you. Show me the better way to be upbeat, to be positive. Yeah, things are tough. I complain all the time, but I choose not to. That's a really neat thing. Then in my work, I see those kinds of things, and I think, man, I have a lot to be grateful for. And I think John knew that. And I think you know that. And that's why he smiled. I think so. I'll give you just a couple of other things. He volunteered. I know it's the whole blood thing. Yeah. and all did all of you pick up the car? That was the station wagon. Is that what you're saying? Vinyl and on vinyl wheels and vinyl metal and the whole bit. Everything's vinyl. Smell the vinyl. And vinyl's hot in the summertime. It's awful and cold. I bet he served. He volunteered. And the older he got, he continued to do that. Is that correct? Is that correct? As long as he could, until it just became more difficult. Okay. Right. So he didn't check out, if you know what I mean. He didn't just check out and tune in TV, and that was the end of his life. He knew that there was more to give, and in my mind, what a great legacy that is too. And, if I would have known him, I love meeting people like John. I'm sorry I didn't meet him. Maybe I did. Maybe I just don't remember. Maybe it was in passing. I'm in the hospital all the time. Maybe I would have, I don't know. But I think in this particular case, what a glorious example. Every one of you has something to give. And maybe not everyone understands it. It's kind of, ooh, there's blood in the car. What's that? That's terrible. But maybe that you have something to give, something to offer. And I think that's what he showed us, isn't it? Do something. You matter. You can help someone. And that seemed to be John's heart. I want to help. I want to stand up. I want to do what's right. I want to participate. What's more, he's also, you say he was a golfer and a bowler. Was he a good bowler? Did he ever score 100? 200? Oh, yeah. Well, that's pretty good too. Was he a good golfer? Okay. So he was an active man for as long as he could. Okay. But what all that kind of stuff tells me is that community mattered to him. Family mattered, community mattered. And so therefore, that's another lesson I would love to offer you. I see that a lot. It's not a sermon. It's just an encouragement to you based upon John's life and what I've told and what I've heard. It is so obvious that it's true. Don't just shrink. No matter how old you get, no matter how tough it gets, keep growing. You have something to share. You have something to offer, a group to participate in, a group to be an encouragement to. People that need you. And I think John understood that. I don't think he was looking for an award. Matter of fact, he played games, right? He said he played games. And was he pretty good at games, or he just played games? Oh, really good at games. But he never let you win unless you won. I mean, he wouldn't just let you win. You had to earn it. Okay. Which means he really played. He really tried. He was, right? So everything that he did, it mattered. There was depth there. He wasn't pretending. He loved genuinely. He served genuinely. He laughed genuinely. And that's a marvelous, marvelous thing. So I would conclude, and you can say amen on that note, I would conclude by thanking you for letting me listen. There really wasn't anything that I could have said. And I love that. But I do believe there's more for him. I believe this is not the end of his life. And I want to read something to you to that effect. It's short, but it's right. For we know that if the earthly tent, which is our house, that's the physical body, is torn down, we have the building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For indeed in this house we groan, longing to be clothed with our dwelling from heaven, inasmuch as we, having put it on, shall not be found naked. For indeed, while we are in this tent, we groan, being burdened, because we do not want to be unclothed, but to be clothed, in order that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. Now he who prepared us for this very purpose is God, who gave to us the Spirit as a pledge. Therefore, being always of good courage, and knowing that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord, for we walk by faith and not by sight, we are of good courage, I say. So I would encourage you to remember that what you saw in John was not the John that was. There was a spirit that was animating him, that lives on My God knew John. Matter of fact, I know I was told he, as far as that kind of stuff goes, he didn't attend for quite a while, for whatever reason. But I do believe God knew his heart. There's something called a general revelation. And again, I want to be very careful about this. You understand? Please bear with me. But he knew what it is that God had called him to do. There's something that God revealed to him about love, about generosity, about service, about those kinds of things. And I think he lived it well. And I think God judges based upon what it is that we know. And I think he was a faithful man in the way God had called him to live. The experience you have in John's life is the perfect example of his faithfulness. The things that you shared reveal obviously that God was working in his heart. You were the beneficiary of it. And I give God thanks for it. Let's have a word of prayer. Father, I ask that you help us at this moment. As families, they have so much to be grateful for, but I know more time would have been better, would have been much better. But this was his time. And you've taken him home, and that's what I believe. So I pray that you help the family grieve, but in that grief, let there be joy. Let there be hope. In the name of Christ I pray. Amen.
Somebody tells us how we really feel. A handshake or a pat on the back is all that we reveal. I'd like to be that long. Here in this little song. Thank you for shaping my life. Thank you for teaching me all you. You are no ordinary man. No, no, no. You make me everything I am. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for showing me the way. And thank you for being there when I need you for every single day. Now I've been blessed with a son of my own, got my own time to live. If I can raise him half as well as you raised me, yes, I'll be doing pretty well. Thank you for your guiding hand. Thank you for making my dreams come true. You're an extraordinary man, and I hope you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. Thank you for giving me life. Thank you for showing me good from bad. I guess you really tried to see. Thank you. Drift away. I never took time just to say. My dad.